Hey guys, Ken's 97 Stow 171 back for another ATS video. We are going to build a truck that I accidentally deleted a while back, this Freightliner FLB. I'd like to look and see whether there's an FLT, which is a long nose truck. Basically, it was the predecessor to the Century, but it was sort of like the W900 or the Peterbilt, typical long nose square front truck. Haven't found one of those that is available on the Steam Workshop. I think there is one available for external purchase, but when I looked at it, it was 30 or 40 bucks. It was a little more than I wanted to spend on a truck. Um, but let's build one of these. Um, Definitely an old school cabover. First of all, let's see what options are available. Um, so that'll, does it put a window over here? Oh, it takes the window out of the door. We'll put the window in the door. That's kind of a handy feature. Um, 4 by 280 gallons. That's a short sucker. Let's do a little bigger truck, a little bigger tanks, 260 gallons. Um, you could do a short. Really isn't any shorter of a truck. Why would you not carry the fuel? I mean, it would make it lighter, you know. Let's take a look at the engines and see what we got available here. Boy, sometimes the game really looks like we have access to pretty much all of them, which is, I think, why I really liked this truck previously. Has pretty much everything. So let's do the 14 liter and the 12.7 liter. That certainly would have been an available engine, I think. Um, we'll do the Z mods ones. Those have really good engine sounds. And then we also might do this steel in here because I think that it'd be interesting with the other international. I had the S13 available in here. Be interesting to have an old truck with a new engine, but we already did that. The Detroit, and actually this truck, this I don't know how old it is. I don't know what year they were producing these. Might have still been able to get this with a two stroke Detroit. Um, Pretty small light truck. Kind of inclined to go with the 12.7 liter if I'm going to do a Detroit 60 series. Let's see what other engines are available in here. Cummins ISX. I do think that S13 is in here. That's not. Okay. So even though it's the same engine pack, this steel production engine pack, I guess it just was it's not an option in this truck. So let's do one of those. I gotta sneeze, guys. Give me a second. Well, I'm really glad that the microphone here has an easy tap to mute button. God damn. Let's do 500 horsepower. That's the biggest one available in the 12.7. Um, this truck should be pretty light, although the Argosy is not light. So I guess some of these modded trucks, the weight's not quite right. We were in that last video we did the Argosy with 31,000 pounds in the trailer weighed like 82,000 pounds, which was way off. I mean, there's no way. Um, but so yeah, I think it's just because it's a mod. Okay, so let's do that. 500 horsepower, 1200 revs. Let's see what transmissions are available. Um, Certainly the Eaton Fuller. Let's see what's available here. Curious to see if the T14 is not available. There's a ZF. Some older stuff. So let's just stick with what we know. I'm doing Eaton Fuller. Oh, I wonder what's in here. Eaton RTLO. 10 speed. This would be 18 speed. What do we say? 1200 or 1200 pound-feet of torque? Or 1200 RPM. It's been a while since I built the truck. We probably want 308s or something like that. We can always change it later. Maybe that one. 240. Let's pull that out of the Eaton Fuller. Well, it might be better to pull it right out of the mod itself. If it's the same trans, and it does look like it is. So let's do that. Well, the heavy cargo went way up when we did that. What was the stock? That. So 285 was the stock differential. Let's see if there's anything. And there's not. This is why you use the Eaton Fuller mod, because it's got every freaking kind of transmission you can ever imagine. These are the ultra shifts. And then you want the RTLO. These. What did we say it was 285? See if we can find one that's similar. Maybe not. Yeah, there's no 285. You kind of want, if you're doing a regular truck, you kind of want to have these a little more balanced. Yeah, I mean 285 would be probably perfect. It'd probably bring that back down, but I don't think there's a two. Oh, there's a 285. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. That's the factory gear ratio on the differential, but with more gears and a much wider spread. So it should be able to do. I mean, look how this is where it was. You can see that leaves the gray right here. That's where the heavy cargo was. Just be adding a lot of transmission options. By adding a lot of gears and more ratio, you went from 10 gears to 18. And the same differential. So that should be great. Okay. Let's see on the interior. There's no real choices. Yeah. You can tell it has a sort of a similar gauge cluster to the Argosy, but not colored in the same way. But they're nice big numbers. I think the dash here is similar. Let's see, what do we want to do on a color? See if there's any. I could do that. Bronze chimney. Yellow. That's kind of cool. Let's see if there's any interesting. Oh, there are some um factory. That's kind of cool. I think I kind of like that the best. Okay. So let's see what options are available. And looks like there's quite a few. So take Texas. Plastic front. Plastic bumper. Painted. Let's do painted. That's cool. All right. And then looks like there might be some accessory slots available. Um, let's see what they are. There's your fog lights. I think it's actually behind. Yeah, you can see it right there. Doesn't actually poke through. So that's, no, that one does. Ow. That one doesn't. That one does. All the other lights are square, so that kind of fits better. Weird that they're yellow looking, and probably because of the paint. Probably don't show, you know, anything on there. So let's just put some amber. And they're not showing either. So they're not showing through. The problem with modded trucks, sometimes they just don't. We'll do these. At least it should show through. Could do that too, and then put lights on there. I don't know. Holy crap! Interesting that that section right there is open. Jesus Christ. And these lower ones will do markers, and then other ones that are a little higher will do fogs. Oh shit! I didn't know these were all the way down here. Okay, those were not available on this, was it? No, they're not. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so on these, there's actually a lot more lights that actually will do stuff. Um, like this one here. These work pretty well. And then there's some, I can never remember where the auxiliaries, come on. Because some of these don't actually show light on the ground. You can see them on the truck, but they don't throw much light. And then there's some that don't look like they're on the truck. They glow, but they actually do throw light on the ground, which is what you're after. You know, I'm pretty sure it needs to be auxiliary lights for them to show. So we'll do that, and if we're wrong, then we can always fix it later. And then down here, we're just going to do just some amber lights, just some markers. Should show up okay. We'll do the same. Won't put one there because it's missing one there. Looks a little off kilter. Maybe white lights in the center there. White. Now. Yellow, 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 yellow. That's what I wanted to be. The ones in the middle here to be white. I think that'll look reasonably cool. It sucks that I accidentally deleted this truck, previously. So, shit happens. And then here we will do amber. Actually, I wonder if they have any round. They might look better. Any round. Yeah. The closest they have are these little guys here. Are these. Yeah. It says Chrome FLB. I think they'll look better up there. All right. That'll be front flags. If I remember correctly, the headlights sucked on this thing, so we will see. So there's a mirror you can put there, which in real life you would want. That'd be the co-driver plate. Don't really need that. Dash cam, parrot, GPS, windshield sets. Don't need that. Driver's plate, and OBC, which we can check out when we get inside the cabin. Visor. Painted visor. Should have marker lights on it. Is there marker lights right here? That's interesting because there have to be marker lights on the roof. Isn't that weird? Uh, that one's got lights on it. Problem is, I think it's gonna, yeah, it blocks half the fucking windshield, which is the problem with those kind of visors. It's too bad. It's weird that there's no lights, you know. There's a light bar. We're gonna put a light bar up there. Although I kind of like the clean look on this truck without it. Oh, there's the cabin lights. Okay. All right. So I generally like the I generally like those. I think they look cool. Jesus. So there's only, you can put some on the sides, which I remember looks a little weird. Um, how many horns do you need? All of them. Yeah, on the side here they look a little weird because they're mounted on the side like that. Uh, I don't know. It looks a little better, honestly. Lower the ground. They're lower. Those are lower. I think the chrome looks better on this particular truck. It'll have horns, that's for sure. I mean, it kind of sucks that yeah. You know what, guys? I'm gonna get rid of these. They kind of look like shit, and they block the lights. You know, the reality is you don't really honk your horn in the game. Um, you know, there was another horn thing available somewhere. I saw it. somewhere. Maybe it was... Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's do that. Now they're kind of hidden down there. Okay, that'll work. Now it's got horns, but, you know. Let's see. What else we got to do here? Cabin lights. We can play with that inside. Horn. We can do a turbo wing. We can do a roof. Wings. Spoilers. We're going to kind of inclined to keep it low. None. Wings give you like that. And that gives you like that, which I think kind of looks like shit. So let's do that. You can put a bunch of lights on this thing, which would be cool. So we'll probably do amber. I do wish you could just like, like whoop, and just change them all at one time. They really need to integrate that where you could, like select the group. Hopefully they're changing on the other side too. See if they are. Nope. That'd be the other thing. Would be nice if there was a checkbox for, duplicate on the other side. Tanks. Painted tank. There we go. And the straps. Black straps. Yellow, chrome, black. Oh, chrome. That looks better black. Accessory slot. No, you can put, let's do amber. Put some lights back there. I like those amber lights because they're kind of, what's this? Frame. You can do truck skin. Yeah. Or stock. Yeah. That'll work. Fenders. Painted. It says truck painted, but those... Oh, they're just the wind ones. Okay. And we got choice on the pipes. Aluminum pipe short. I wonder where the air cleaner is on this thing. It's cab over. It's got to be somewhere. Tall. Let's just do twin aluminum pipe short. That's fine. In reality, you'd probably just use the single. But we'll do two. I do wonder where the air cleaner is. It's kind of interesting. Fenders. Painted. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be painted in real life, but okay. Part of me doesn't like all this shit hanging off the front of the trucks. You know, especially these. Like right here. Kind of looks like shit. The rest of those are kind of, I don't want to say the screamer horn kind of looks like shit too. Those are all kind of tucked. You know, still need to look good. So it doesn't have a horn. Who gives a shit? I guess we could do them on the sides. Yeah, we could do that. That doesn't look inappropriate. So there's no horns listed there. Okay. They're all from other. This is these are actually the legacy ones. You can see here it says it's from the W900 legacy, but that looks better. It looks better on the side than the roof, I think. I guess we could do two on the out. Maybe that looks okay. Just two up there. Not blocking too much. Actually, the other thing we could do. We could put it there and get rid of these two lights. Let's try that. So the two lights aren't right next to it. Yeah, that'll work. We can get rid of this one too. No! Oh, did it put them back? It did. But I want to get rid of this one here. So it's a little more space. There's just 4. So the spacing's a little bit better. Okay. Let's do the wheels. It's too bad there's not arches you can put. And this truck would have steel wheels probably. I think it might look good with the dark rims. I really like those for some reason. The shadow wheels. Did that wheel move inward? Watch the tire when I pick the shadow. It did. It moved inward. Isn't that weird? I want to do that. Maybe we ought to do. Let's go back, put that one on there, and then let's do like the seagull black. See if it does the same thing. It does. Okay, so it's probably going to be any of the newer wheels, you know, are going to do that. Let's do yeah, let's do chrome caps. That'll look good. And then exclusive black, or let's see if there's any other interest. This Kenworth black. I think that looks a little better. And then on the tire, I'll do a so you don't know the actual size because it's just the factory tire there. You have no idea. The only thing you can really do is see if the truck moves up or down. It doesn't seem to. That's a little wider than this one. It's narrower. Let's go wider. Let's see. We'll go new school and see if you can do shadow wide. And we can. The lug nuts will be chrome. And the cap. Kenworth. This was Kenworth, wasn't it? Yeah, Kenworth black. Okay. Just so they match, you know. You would definitely not have super singles on a truck this old, you know, at the time. You wouldn't. But there's nothing to say that you couldn't. That you couldn't retrofit. All right. Part of me kind of doesn't want to do the singles on an older truck like this, but you know, it's also not completely an older truck. It's got modern LED lights on it and other things, you know. Let's go in the cabin and see what we can do in here. Oh, they have different gauges, different backlight color. Green would have been stock, probably. So we'll keep that because that's kind of the color. You know. Yeah, we'll just keep it green. That's fine. Onboard computer. We'll put it there because it's liable to show us like our cruise control speed and do a trucker probe. Then you also have this over here. We've got oh, that is huge. Huge. Smaller. Kind of like that better. It's a little more out of the way. That's even better. Well, we're liable just to run the route planner. There's no interesting stuff right here, so we might just leave it out so we have good visibility and just run the route planner in its place. It's interesting that you have two different GPSs available depending on the location. That's pretty weird. Um, don't need a dash cam. Front mirror. Hanging item. Visor. Radio. Put a CB. You know, the problem is then you got I mean, it's kind of cool and realistic, but you know, I mean, in my view, I would take this and hang it over here, so this thing is not in your frickin' way, and it's not something you're ever going to actually use in the game. So it's cool as that is. Okay, how do we put the cat? And the cat can probably be over there too. Yeah, he can, but we'll leave him there. There's no way a cat would actually fit right there. Main mirrors, chrome or paint. Yeah, let's paint them. They'll look better painted. Interesting that that wasn't an option, like a clickable button right there. God, hard to believe we're at an hour. We're just making a damn truck. Could also put the cat here. Then you can't see it when you're driving. And put a dog right there, or a cat, which isn't active and doesn't move. You can put probably the cat and the dog there too. Maybe not. Yeah, you can. She'll be able to see him over there, so we'll do that. What the fuck is that? Inside light. Every time I do that, I end up regretting it. There's an inside light there. We can always turn it off. Could do red. Try that. Anything else? I don't think so, guys. Okay, so we got the interior, we got the exterior, all done, all modded. We got the color. There's no interior, just standard interior choice. Got the transmission, the engine. I think we have everything. So let's confirm purchase and then figure out a place to put it, which I think I think we have a spot up here. What the hell is that? Well, tell me that's the truck we just built. It's not in my list. I'm gonna be pissed if there's already one there. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. That might be the truck we just built. No, I don't think it is. So we'll put it there. I bet it is. Man, wouldn't it be funny if if it wasn't in the list for some reason, or I just missed it. We just did all that for no freaking reason. So Freightliner, Cascadia. Why the hell is there no? Argosy FLB. That's the one we just built. Oh, I know what the other truck is. It's one of these. I think. Oh, maybe. What garage is that? Idaho Falls. So let's do Idaho Falls. Map. I'm really curious to see. It's a K100. Okay. So I'm wrong. It's not a FLB. Okay. Also a cool truck. Older design even than the FLB. This truck was from the 80s. Okay. All right, guys. We done built it. Let me get started and I'll make another video here in a minute. We'll take it on a trip somewhere. All right. You guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me while I built the truck. That took way too freaking long, but it always seems to. Have a good one, guys. Be safe out there.